Hello, Aldwyn, Altuney here. Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. I have a very special treat for you. I am in Brisbane, just outside Vagelis Cafe and Bar in Hamilton, a very trendy little area in Brisbane here. And I've just been at a pop-up with the Professional Speakers Australia. And I'm here today with our guest speaker today, who's Dr. Gary Wohlman, and the Queensland President, Simone de Haas. And we're about to chat about how to speak from the heart and how to live an amazing life. And I'm not really sure what else we're going to talk about, but we'll just have a chat and see what comes out today. Thanks for joining us. And here we are, flip over here. And here's Gary and here's Simone. Hello.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so how have you found today? Let's go first to Simone.
Well, my brain's full. I don't think I could cram in any more information. Dr. Gary has been extraordinary in the sharing. For a pop-up meeting, I don't think I've ever had quite that kind of level of insight and the wisdom that he shared with us today around speaking from the heart and really taking that speaking to a whole new level. You know, I think the world is absolutely ready with this kind of transformative speaker to step onto the stage. So I've been blessed to actually spend time with Dr. Gary today and other members of our Queensland chapter who've come along to the meeting, and to really learn from a master himself, Dr. Gary.
Awesome, that's really beautiful. And it has been a very moving morning, I must say. Now, what are pop-up meetings all about? What is this?
Well, a pop-up meeting is a meeting as the Professional Speakers Australia. We have regular monthly chapter meetings where it's a little more of a formal structure. We have a dinner, we have our guest speakers, and it's all about networking and learning and growing in our business. The pop-up meetings were designed to be more informal while still learning from someone and choosing to get together on a more casual basis. So we only run them like once every couple of months as people come to Queensland that we'd really love to connect with on a deeper level. And it just so happened that we became aware of Dr. Gary visiting Queensland, and so we thought, well, we've got to snap up this opportunity and create a lot more value for our members in the way that we can help them grow their business and grow, most importantly, as speakers.
Beautiful, and very big thanks to Catherine Palin-Brinkworth for connecting Dr. Gary with the Professional Speakers Association here in Brisbane. And Dr. Gary, you have come all the way from Melbourne and before that from America. Can you explain a little bit about your background and how you got into speaking?
How I got into speaking was in my early 20s when I've moved from one coast to the other, from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States to San Francisco. And there, having not been able to be accepted into medical school, found another pathway. The field of holistic therapies was just beginning, the human potential movement at that time. And I took my earlier fascination and passion for being a springboard diver, gymnast, involved with the expression through the body rather than the maladies and trying to fix things that were wrong with the body to another level. I began to speak about it, and it was almost unheard of back then to speak about these types of working with the body to transform people's abilities to be better communicators. My background was also quite a bit of communication, quite a bit of intellectual study. So for me, the marriage between understanding the wisdom, as you shared, Simone, of how the body works and freeing people to be better communicators myself helped me to begin to be a speaker for speakers. So I began to speak of my profession in ways that I had not known before, to connect with people, understand better, like a copywriter, which I became a few years later, able to convey in a very few words the essence of stretching the muscles in the body. Began to speak in rhyming affirmations, and helping people access stretching the shoulders from the ear. Easier for me to speak my truth and clearly hear. Began to bring this to many different audiences, and it became something that I was quite good at. And then the engagement and the connection happened years later through doing court jester work and performance with yourself, being involved in the world of theater. So it's all come together over a period of 20, 30, now 45 years later, in helping people connect the body and the mind with that innate wisdom and gifts of expression buried within.
Now, you mentioned today you come from a very small place in America called New York City.
It is small going up this way.
And 6 months ago you had a near-death experience. Can you share with us what happened and how life is now for you since that experience?
Sure, thank you, Aldwyn. I was about to do a presentation with this Speaking from the Heart. And the morning before, I had some tremendous pains in my lower back from a little cut that I had been feeling burning at the base of my leg, a little bicycle cut. Turned out, after the presentation, because I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, it was excruciating pain after an MRI, that they found out that I had a staph infection, this size, climbing up my spine, hitting to the brain that day, special delivery to the brain. And they said to me in the hospital, look, you're going to not be here tomorrow unless we cut you open today. And being cut open, for me at first I was terrified that this athletic, acrobatic, very alive self was no more. I was in deep grief. But something magnificent happened. Not only did I get through the doctor's fear that I'd come out as a paraplegic, which I never heard about till the day after the successful operation, but the main thing that I want to share with everyone is actually through Facebook, thank you Facebook, that hundreds of people that I've been close to in my life, friends, clients, lovers, ex-wives, people that I've lost touch with decades ago, all wrote. And I said it to myself to be in communication with everyone. And somehow that dialogue, as though it was going to be the last moment, helped reweave myself into a new connection to be open to life as never before. I feel like I've been reset in some very profound way. Reset with a sense of stillness that I never had before, and much more open to you and anyone else to connect more deeply.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. It's very moving. I think anyone who's watching this who's had any near-death experiences or know anyone who has been close to death, you know, we tend to take our lives for granted, and it really is so powerful when you get a new appreciation for your life and the miracle that is your life. And, you know, since that, Gary, you know, as you say, you've been reset. And what are you now taking on for the rest of your amazing years on this planet? What are you really here to do for people? What's your purpose?
It's just happened in our session here today. It was so beautiful to see fellow speakers breaking free of the performance mode, of the automatic mode that we're used to. So many of us are trained to look good, to have a certain persona where we get paid well, we produce well. I too was that way, in my own way. But today what I saw and what my purpose is in life, and how many more years or decades or however long it can be, is to help free, like an archaeologist, people from our physical tensions on one layer, the emotional holding patterns that's set in place on another layer, to free the gifts of creative expression. That's our divine birthright, every one of us. So I am passionate for helping people provoke, invoke, evoke this quality of the depth of our gifts to others, to make this world a better place, to be able to connect more deeply with oneself first, and to be able to provide this teaching of speaking from the inside out. This is what I'm here to share with all souls who are ready.
Beautiful. And thank you to Graham, Gilberto, Jacob, Sue Lester, who was with us today. Hello, and Dennis. Thank you for joining us today, and everyone else who's watching this. Can you share some brief tips with us, what people can do to speak from the heart? What should they be conscious of?
When we speak from the heart, there's a level of tenderness that happens. If you follow the following words that I'm going to share with you and say these words after me, notice what happens when you say these words after me. Let's all do it together. Sharing my caring is my strength.
Sharing my caring is my strength.
Sharing my tenderness is my strength.
Sharing my tenderness is my strength.
My vulnerability is my strength.
My vulnerability is my strength.
Sharing my heartfelt humanity is my developing strength.
Sharing my heartfelt humanity is my developing strength.
So to speak from the heart those 4 different sentences help evoke that presence of activation of trust in that inner sensations that, if felt fully, have a voice. And by speaking from that place of deep feeling, that felt sense, anyone can speak from the wisdom of what's already buried inside our own landscapes, ready to come out. If there's any one thing you can remember from what we're all sharing here today, by going into that inner listening and waiting until an impulse comes up that may then produce a sound, a feeling, a color, a texture, a word, a sentence. From that place, it's almost impossible to be inauthentic, where the verbal words, the vocal sounds, and the visual gestures all come together as one. Emerson, one of the greatest writers of all time, was known to have a particular statement. You know the one I'm about to share? It's the one that he's been known for saying, "Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear a single thing that you have to say." I feel totally different about it. I feel that when we put together our words, our sounds, and our gestures, people hear even more through the synergy what we're saying, what we're not saying, what we're feeling, and evoking that presence that we're all hungry to bring out in ourselves and our connection with each other. So speaking from the heart, it's an inside job.
Beautiful. Love it, Gary. Anything else you'd like to say, Simone?
Oh, look, I think that's a wonderful closing line. Speaking from the heart, it's an inside job. And today, Dr. Gary helped us all to reach a lot deeper inside us and start to work as speakers from the inside out. So thank you so much.
Thank you for
sharing
hosting me.
time with us.
Such a blessing.
It's been a beautiful, beautiful day. And how can people find out more about Professional Speakers Association
Okay,
Australia?
so you can find us online, professionalspeakersaustralia.org.au, and you can go on there and find out about our membership. We have a couple of different ranges of membership. We have events here in Queensland every month, chapter events on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. And they're held here, actually not far from this place, in Hamilton. And we have guest speakers where you can learn a lot more about growing as a speaker, but also growing your business and being a part of the professional organisation of Speakers Australia. So look forward to seeing you at one of our meetings.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Simone. And Gary, how can people find out more about you?
You can visit my website. That is mypresentationdoctor, spelled out, .com. And also go to my Facebook page. Hello, Facebook. Thank you. And my Facebook page has all kinds of videos, audios, and print materials, inspirational materials. The same word, my presentation doctor, and that's my gift to you to receive ongoing inspiration.
Fantastic. Any final words, Gary?
I'm speechless.
Me too, me too. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm Aldwyn all today here. I'm here with Dr. Gary Wohlman and the beautiful Simone de Haas. Here we are, and we're just outside Vagelis, and my battery's going. We're wrapping up the Facebook Live now with very low battery on the phone. Must charge the battery now. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. Speak from the heart, live your love, have an amazing day and an amazing life. Here's to making it the best you can make it. And thanks so much, guys. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your love. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.